we're going to graph the exponential function f of x equals 2 to the x power. We're going to do this using an input-output table or an xy table. We're going to choose some values for x, input those, and see what it gives us out as our y. All right, so I'm going to pick some x numbers. I'm going to pick a 0, a -1, a -2, 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to put each of those numbers into our function in place of x and solve that to see what we get for our y value. So first I've got f of -2 equals 2 to the -2. 2 to the -2 is the same thing as 1 over 2 squared. And so that's 1/4. All right, so we've got y is 1/4 when x is -2. When we put a -1 in for x, we get f of -1 equals 2 to the -1. And that means it's going to be 1 over 2. So when x is -1, we're getting a y of 1/2. Then we're going to go ahead and put 0 in. F of 0 equals 2 to the 0. Anything to the 0 power is giving us a 1. So when x is 0, y is 1. F of 1 equals 2 to the first power, which is just 2. F of 2 means I've got 2 to the second power, which is just 2 squared. That's 4. So we put a 4 in for our y. And then f of 3 is going to be 2 to the third power. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 more is 8. So we get an 8 there for that. All right, now we've got our table, so we need to go ahead and graph those points. Some of these fractions are a little hard to do. Just do your best. So -2, 1/4. We'll say that's right. -1, 1/2. Right about there, sure. The point 0, when x is 0, our y is going to be 1. That's that point right there. I'm going to make my points a little bigger now. And then I've got the point 1, 2. And then I've got the point 2, 4. So over 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we've got the point 3, 8. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's about right there. So you can see we've got that curve. Going to go ahead and connect our points as best we can. Don't judge me for not being perfect with connecting my points, and I won't judge you. It's going to go on forever in this direction, and it's actually going to go on forever in that direction also. Looks like it's going to approach the x-axis, but never quite actually get there. All right, let's do these problems at the bottom. First, I'm going to look at if f of x equals 8, what is the value of x? So if f of x equals 8, what is the value of x? So let's say, I'm going to write, let's go back to a different pen color. Sorry about that. So I know f of x equals 2 to the x, and we're going to say that that equals 8. Okay, so in my mind, basically, I just kind of erase this part so that I've got 2 to the x equals 8. Well, what is x to get us 2 to the x equals 8? Well, we already did that problem. So we know x equals 3. When x equals 3, f of x equals 8. We're going to look at this next problem. What is f of 9? So you're just going to go ahead and put that in there. F of 9 equals 2 to the 9th. So you can multiply that out in your brain, or you might want to use your friendly calculator. And since you're not at school and it's a video, you can even use a calculator on your phone. So I'm pulling out my calculator, and that is giving me 1,024. Okay. And domain. Remember, domain are your x's. That you're all possible x's. Since this really is going on forever in that direction, it's going on to negative infinity. And it's going to keep going on forever in that direction. So it's going to go on forever to positive infinity for our x's. So for our x's, it's going from negative infinity to positive infinity. That's our domain. Then looking at the range, we like to find our smallest one by coming up here. Our smallest one is really kind of going to be 0. It's never actually going to hit 0. And since it's never going to hit 0, I'm going to use that soft parentheses because 0 isn't technically included. It never equals 0. But my y value is going to keep going up and up forever and ever. So I know the upper limit is going to be infinity. So that's how you do that problem. Taking a look at another exponential function we have on problem 4, you're going to do it the same way. And it's really similar. It just has this plus 1 right there. So you're going to do those same things. And then pay attention to how it moves or changes your graph compared to the graph that we just did on problem 2. Thank you. If you have any questions, contact your teacher. And don't forget to be awesome.